Welcome to Food and Loathing, a casual conversation about dining in Las Vegas that we deliver weekly to your ear holes, in the hopes you'll hear about a good place to feed your pie hole. By the we, I mean the core team of myself, Al Mancini, co-host Gemini Stevens, and producer Rich Johnson, as well as our weekly happy hour correspondent, Andrew Morgan of happyhourvegas.com. Andrew is here with me today. He's stepping in for into the co-host spot because Gemini is winding down her little tour of Europe, which looks delicious as fuck, by the way. I think she's in France now. I'm engineering. Rich remains behind the scenes fixing all of my fuck-ups. But again, Andrew in the co-host spot plus Happy Hour Vegas. Andrew, how the hell are you today?
Doing all right. I mean, look, you're talking about ear holes, pie holes, probably some assholes in there too. Whatever. Well, a lot of holes to fill today.
I'm the asshole.
I thought I was the guest asshole.
As always, I'm the asshole, man. That's how this game works.
Otherwise, all good, man.
Cool.
Feeling good about it. So thanks for having me here.
We're heading into EDC weekend. Do you have your MDMA short fuzzy skirt and glitter?
Ready to go.
Hey, Ziggy Stardust doesn't like when you DJ.
I don't think anyone likes when I DJ. You don't want me to DJ.
Dog's here in the house with us as we record in the fantastic Mancini Studios, by the way.
I love it. It's good. It's like Apple Road. What is it? Not Apple Road.
Abbey Road.
Abbey Road. Apple Road. Silicon Valley. What are you going to do?
Yeah, there you go. You're a tech boy.
Yeah.
Okay, me and Andrew, we have some interviews with some really cool people this week, including Luis de Santos and Chef Daniel Cabrera of Gu Plus Social. They're going to be talking about a collab with Raku's chef Matsuo Endo, Penny Chutima on the reopening of the original Lotus of Siam location on East Sahara. 80s pop star Tiffany and Chef Alicia Shevetone I have on this week's show talking about their collaborative cookbook. And Chef Nicole Brisson talking about comedy at Bar Zazu in Resorts World. But more importantly, once I scheduled that interview, we decided we were going to talk about her return to the suburbs. So yeah, that's big news. Big news. You're going to want to hear that. A lot coming your way. But first, let me ask you a question. Where are you dining? Any place special this week? You going any place special this week? Andrew, how about you? Pop up some once-in-a-lifetime things.
Once-in-a-lifetime things. So I have some family visiting next week, so I'm kind of holding it for next week. We got a bunch of plans going on there. But I was in Henderson earlier, a couple days ago, and Boom Bang. You ever been there?
I have been to Boom Bang,
Chef
yes.
Alicia. So I'm a fan of the place, man. Like, I mean, first of all, it's all, organic. She sources things really, from good places. Vibe is solid. Smash burgers. I'm telling you get the double, $12. That's on a happy hour, by the way. But anyway, so just really enjoyed myself. And Chef Alicia, even though I know she was a top chef contender for a while. She's trained at Cordon Bleu. She was like the first sous chef for Robuchon.
Yeah.
So she's got the titles and the accolades right there. And the kitchen and the vibe and everything there definitely follows it. So I like it.
No, we definitely love Boom Bang.
Yeah.
Okay, so things coming up, though. Right? This is where we start now at the top of the show. I want to get you hungry. It's Friday night. Where the fuck are you going to eat over this weekend? Are you going to be dining anywhere that's really, really delicious, something cool, something you want to tell your friends and family about because they're not going to be able to get it when they come back? That's why we have the event calendar over at foodandloathing.vegas. And it's all pop-ups and one-offs and things like that. And yeah, I was kind of hoping that maybe Andrew would be willing to read through a few of these, the cooler things coming up. Are you good with that, man?
You're making me work, of course.
I got you here. Nobody wants to hear my fucking voice.
Listen, I'm happy to cover it. Look, Wynn Las Vegas has a pair of Jet Tilla events this weekend as part of their Connoisseur Series. So he'll be offering a cooking demo at Wynn's Brahms Ballroom today, Friday the 15th, before hosting a meal at the Lotus of Siam on Saturday the 16th.
Oh, man, and Jet is amazing.
Yeah,
He's got
Jet Tilla.
Great history in Las Vegas. He's a very, very good guy. Been on the show many times.
I love it. But wait, there's more.
Oh, good. There's
the
more.
Waldorf Astoria's Hard Shake Bar will welcome New York City's Sip and Guzzle for a bar takeover on Friday and Saturday.
All right. Drink some New York City drinks.
Yeah, at the Waldorf. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, nice view from that bar, too.
Have you been? I used to go to the drinks at the Waldorf in the city all the time.
I mean,
the Bear and Bull. It's awesome.
Now, I've been to this one. It's had a lot of different names over the years, but then again, so is the Waldorf, I think, if I really think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a cool view of the Strip, though, from their bar up there. And Sip and Guzzle, fantastic bar from New York City. So
It's right up there with Slap and Tickle.
So-
So the Durango Resort, also on the calendar this week, will relaunch its Aloha Friday series today, the 15th. So that was a blast last year, so I'm looking forward to it again this year.
Really, really cool.
Yep.
The entire Hawaii. I mean, Vegas has such a huge Hawaiian expat community, and it's amazing. I've been to these things in the past, and it's families, and it's kids, and it's great food, and it's music, and it's all the fun stuff that you would want, and a little taste of the Hawaiian Islands without having to pay the jet fuel prices that are out there right now.
Yeah, that's not very kosher.
No.
We have a pair of cool Sunday brunch pop-ups this week as well. So brunch with Bryce Crossman at La Strega up in Summerlin, and Milkfish Bake Shop at the Durango Social Club.
Yeah, so cool brunches.
Also on Sunday, pastry cooking demo Win Las Vegas, and Raku collaboration at U plus Social.
And we're going to have a lot on that coming up later in the show. So that's all just part of this weekend. And, I mean, if you want to know what's happening the other days, maybe you want to go out on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Well, you know what the fucking days of the week are. I don't have to tell you all of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, just bookmark the events calendar. Check it out when you're planning a night out in Vegas. I don't care if you're trying to do it on 2 or 3 days' notice. Sometimes we add these things last minute. Sometimes they're in there 3, 4, 5 months in advance. I'm bugging somebody over at MGM right now about their drink festival coming up in September, trying to get all the details put up on that event calendar on that one. So, I think it's a cool feature that we have, and I like to get you guys hungry. So that's some things you could do this weekend that'll be really special. But we also like to talk about where we've been dining. So I'm going to kick this one off. I got a lot, but we're going to run through them quickly. First of all, I was downtown talking to Penny from Lotus of Siam. I was down by all the sex clubs and the commercial center. And while I was there, no, I did not go to Green Door. It was the middle of the afternoon, which
That's the best time.
Gotta be really sad.
Green Door happy hour. Come on.
I went to Vickie's Diner, and Vickie's Diner in that commercial center is fantastic. I mean, all the lore is that the Rat Pack used to dine there. The place itself has a totally kind of Art Deco-y 50s Happy Days vibe to it with the jukebox and it's really a fun place. The people are super cool in there, like really, really nice. Kind of like the sassy diner waitress that you sort of expect, right? And but really friendly and nice. And everybody was great. I had Turkey Club that I would say is was solid, not fantastic, but I was having a good time at this diner. And then my waitress came over, said they made a little extra clam chowder that day. Would I like to try it? First of all, the fact that they make their soups from scratch, right there, fucking amazing. And the fact that they gave me some free soup, then even better. And it was very good. So, you know what? If you want diner food, if you're over on East Sahara, if you're, I don't know, gaming up for a night at a sex club or whatever it is you're doing, I would recommend Vickie's Diner.
So go to Vickie's before the Green Door is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's the go-to. That's the plan.
Well, I mean, truthfully, in the day when I would bring every single visiting guest in Las Vegas to a sex club or a strip club or wherever, we would go to Badlands, the gay cowboy bar, before we went to Green Door. It was very breeder friendly, right? They didn't mind if a bunch of breeders went in there and tried to get drunk enough that they could handle going into Green Door for the first time. So that to me is actually my sex club advice is Badlands.
Man, you learn something new every day.
Gay cowboy bar. Washing potato. Oh, this was great. My friends over at Fontainebleau gave me a little buzz, and they said, hey, do you want to come in and do a little staycation at Fontainebleau? And not surprisingly, I had not stayed at Fontainebleau. I don't stay at a lot of hotels here in Vegas. It's not a good staycation thing for me because I'm still going to bump into 100 people that I know when I'm at a club. But, whenever a casino offers it to me, I'm thrilled, man. And I have not spent a lot of time in Fontainebleau since they've opened. And the assumption being they've got other big national media people that they're bringing. That's all groovy, man. I mean, I like the place. I like the people who work there. But so being invited in was great, man. So we had a great room. I was overlooking the day club when I checked in. I was overlooking both the normal pool and the day club when I checked in. I posted some pictures of that online, man. Just like what it looks like when you're up on the 30-something floor and you're just staring down at that massive humanity.
My God.
I mean, just totally fucking nuts. So we had a cool time there. They caught me at Washing Potato, which is the casual hipster, very chic, very modern New York, Tokyo looking Pan Asian-y kind of place that is a sister restaurant of China Club right next door, which is the fine dining, super high-end Chinese. I like Washing Potato a lot. I love the vibe. I like the menu. They also do a half of Peking duck that is fantastic.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it good?
It's really, really good.
Okay.
I would say it's as good as the Peking duck I've had next door, but, in a smaller portion.
Yeah.
And then, they bring it out. They bring it with the pancakes, which I'm the worst, man. Can
the
you
scallion, yeah.
No, not the scallion. The ones to wrap the duck in.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and so we're pulling that off the paper. You know what it's like to try to pull those things off the paper?
I can't do it. Yeah.
No, anyway. But they brought it with that, and we made those ducks. We made those little roll ups, and we had our scallions, and we had our sauce, and it was fantastic. Great dish. Okay, Sue thought I was crazy when my one complaint about this dish was that they didn't bring it with any sugar. Now, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
I get it. It's on the sweet side. So, I can see why sugar would complement that. But I agree with Sue. You are crazy.
I mean, I am crazy in a lot of ways, but no, one of my favorite things to do when you get a full Peking duck is they'll bring you a little tiny bowl of sugar.
Okay.
And they'll set it there, and then you could take just the skin, the pure fat of the crispy skin, kind of lay it in the sugar, and it's like it almost really melts in your mouth. Good thing. So they didn't bring the sugar. I was kind of too embarrassed to ask for it because my wife thought I was fucking insane. But other people do this. I know it's not a thing that I was making up.
You got to bring your own sugar pack.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have brought it if I had asked. But it was great. The shumai were great. The fried rice was great. These really. I've never had anything like them before. Pan-fried dumplings that were prawn and chive inside.
Nice.
So really, really huge.
Pan-fried chive dumplings. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, it was excellent, man. So those were good. The next morning, we went over to the Cote, which is down by the pool. They got us a nice daybed. We were hanging out at the pool.
Yeah.
You don't want to see my fat ass on a daybed. That's a frightening thing.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm good.
But we had a really, really good time. We went to the Cote. Sue had a cheeseburger. I had cardamom French toast pudding with macerated berries, cardamom creme angelaise, and whipped cream. And I'm a bread pudding sucker.
Okay.
And I'm kind of a French toast is my sweet tooth for breakfast that I'm a sucker. So this was great. Very subtle, very nuanced. Really, really fantastic dish. Not what you're expecting to get at a poolside restaurant, right? Like you kind of just expect you're going to get your chicken wings and you're going to get your club sandwiches and stuff like that. And it was really, really good. So did get a cheeseburger that was excellent as well.
I was going to ask you. So cheeseburger's good, cardamom French toast good. These are all and poolside, so it's easy to eat. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could go in casual, and you could sit indoors or outdoors, or in that little straddle of the indoor-outdoor, which is where I usually like to be.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of the air conditioning blowing out onto me without being right under it. So that night, after we checked out, and first of all, thank you to everybody at Fontainebleau, man. It was cool. I said hi. I took Sue around. We toured some of the other restaurants that she'd never seen before. She got to peek her head into Don's Prime, great steakhouse. It's just gorgeous. And, Sue's not easily impressed because we dine at some pretty flabbergasting places, but she was like, oh, my God, this place just feels elegant. It just feels beautiful. It feels raised. And Chef Patrick Munster came out. I think he ostensibly came out to say hello, but I think he came out because they said, who's the asshole with the mohawk that's walking his wife through like the kitchen area and shit without permission. Regardless, he came out and he said hi, and that was great. So we had a fun time, really great time. Fontainebleau, I like. They built that place with this idea for grandeur and wide open, empty spaces that we just don't get anymore.
It feels like a big luxury yacht.
Yeah,
on the strip, it's pretty good. And to that luxury tone, fun fact about Fontainebleau.
Fun fact:
no happy hour.
No
happy hour, no social hour, no golden hour, no anything like that. I think it's a little bit,
That's
below their pay grade.
Did I not send you? I thought I sent you some happy hour things anyway.
Nope.
Ziggy Stardust, you wait. You get to go outside in a second. Okay. Really quickly, also, my brother was in town with his husband. They were in town to see Duran Duran. So we got to hang out with them a little bit. But he really wanted to try beef Wellington. And so I put the word out Man, you know what? Okay, stop it, Ziggy. We're going to take you out in a second.
Yeah.
He really wanted to try beef Wellington, and we put the word out. Who's got a good beef Wellington? I know the usual suspects. It's Gordon Ramsay
Sure.
restaurants, and I wanted to do something a little different than that. No disrespect to my friends in the Gordon Ramsay family.
Yeah.
So we ended up at Eiffel Tower, which is a great restaurant, gorgeous, very old school vibe.
Yeah.
Had an amazing meal there. They sent out a bunch of amuse-bouches. I did a fantastic lobster bisque that had nice texture in the little tiny crumbles that are in there.
Yeah.
Sue ordered halibut, which she's been really obsessed with recently, and it is in season, over some basil couscous with the citrus Bois Blanc. Really fucking good, man.
Yeah.
The flavor profiles are just really great there. My brother-in-law got black cod and papillote with artichokes and root veggies, so in the paper, right?
Yeah.
So it keeps all that in. I actually had an amazing vegetarian crepe. Now, I don't usually go to the vegetarian section, but I wasn't looking for, a steak. I knew I'd be eating a little my brother's Wellington, et cetera. So I saw this crepe, and it was just sautéed greens and high-end mushrooms and a lot of Gruyere cheese, just kind of cave-aged Gruyere cheese, I should say, in this beautiful crepe, and it was so fucking good. It made me feel good about having a vegetarian.
Was that a recommendation from them, or was that you just found that on the menu?
No, it just spoke to me. I mean, I am a sucker for good cheese, and seeing cave-aged Gruyere on there. And I did want something that made me feel like I gotten a little bit of green veggie, into me. So, having that made me feel a bit after what I've been
Feeling
eating
better
the rest of the weekend, which just come from having cardamom French toast pudding for breakfast that day. So it felt good to have something a little healthy. We did a couple souffles. They were as perfect as you can expect. Look, it's old school French. Old school Americans versions of fancy French, right?
Yeah.
It's like what
you would expect.
It's like what Sinatra would have thought was fancy French food.
Yeah.
Except to the highest possible level. So you're going to see familiar dishes.
Yeah.
You're going to see things you know. And the Wellington was fucking phenomenal. So if you're looking for a place to get beef Wellington, I will send you over there.
Okay.
I went to the opening day of Good Pie, decided I would, do a takeout order, support them my first day.
Yeah.
It was fucking insane. Nobody knew what they were doing. First day, right?
Okay.
Having trouble with the POS system, having trouble with everything. You know what? They handled it all with a smile. Fantastic people. Everybody that was there was having a really good time. They were working things out. They were figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I have to say, after it took a while for me to get my to-go pizza, one of the women, I don't think she recognized me. I don't think she knew, that I know Vinny and all that.
Yeah.
She called me over. She's like, I'm really sorry you have to wait. And she handed me a gift card, right? Like a $30 gift card for my next return. I was like, look, I'm not going to take this. I'm here to spend money, right? To support Vinny. So I didn't take it, but and I'm not bringing it up just to say, I'm so great I didn't take it. I'm bringing it up to point out that that's the effort they went to when they knew that they were a little slow that day.
That's right. What location is that one?
This is the new one at Red Rock.
Yeah.
Red Rock Resort. So loved that. Then last night, bites at the bar at High Stakes before we went to see Naked Stormtroopers at Empire Strips Back. Had some good things up there, and I didn't take notes on what I had, but oh man, you know what? The prime rib sliders, fucking fantastic. The most subtle. They come in with a the sliders come in with not the kind of punch you expect sitting at a bar eating, right? They're much more subtle, and you really enjoy them. There's a weird spinach artichoke dip, but it's really the artichokes are fried, and then you just dip them into a spinach and cheese dip.
Okay.
Not my favorite dish, but I love the creativity of the deconstruction on that idea, right? And just kind of doing it reverse what people are thinking, where this artichoke's normally inside the dip, and now you're using the artichoke to do the dipping. So
and this is James Trees.
This
right?
is James
This
Trees,
is not a
right.
reboot of the Voodoo kind of thing.
No. This is High Stakes at the top floor of the Rio. But we had several other really, really good bites there. I posted them up on social media if you want to take a look. They're good. The bread there is phenomenal. The butter, the mustard butter that comes with the bread, fucking knockout. Knocked us through the roof. We did appetizers. We had a great time. High Stakes was a lot of fun. And that's about it for me. And Empire Strips Back, man. I like it. They took out, by the way, Empire Strips Back. I love this show.
Yeah.
It is everything that 13-year-old me could have wanted in life. It is nudity, hot women, trying to see their nipples if you can, because you know
Yeah.
they're very teasy in a burlesque
Yeah.
fashion,
Yeah.
and Star Wars, and a woman who crawls into her tauntaun to keep from freezing to death because she's half naked, and it's so much fun. I'll tell you, they toned down like the most homoerotic scene that was in there. I
Yeah.
think they realized like, okay, we'll throw a little love still to the straight women that are there, and they still have Han Solo showing off his abs and things like
Yeah.
that. But he is no longer being bent over by Chewbacca and faux sodomized. And I got to say, I kind of liked that part, but that's
Yeah.
me. You know, that's not something 13-year-old me was looking for. But I liked that. But again, you got to know what your audience is, right? So I guess the
Yeah.
homoerotic part of it is now really gone. There's still some eye candy for straight women, and I mean, the homoerotic thing wasn't really for gay men. It was just funny as fuck, right? But
Look, that's a great night. You
Yes.
know? Bites at the bar at high stakes, and then Empire strips back. Tune
Yeah.
into your adult and your 13-year-old self with a slight nipple action. That's a good day.
it was an awesome day. So,
Yeah.
Andrew, other than going over to Henderson, where else have you dined recently? Any place good?
Look, I've been heads down the last little while. I've not been doing anything. It's the last few weeks of school, so other than just hanging around Summerlin and doing my thing, not much going on there. But it sounds like you've been kind of busy the last few days. So.
Yeah, definitely been. You got to get out. You got to see these.
I
things.
know. In the next few weeks in the summer, I'm definitely doing that. So looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, we have a lot more coming up in this show with the Happy Hour Report and an extended interview with the team at Q Plus about their collaboration with Raku's chef Matsuo Endo. And we're going to share that during the news. But first, a couple of fantastic interviews. Brezza's Nicole Brisson will tell us about her first new project in the burbs since COVID. And Penny Chutima will talk about the decision to reopen the original Lotus of Siam location on East Sahara. This is Food and Loathing. It's Al again, and I have a fantastic interview to share with Chef Nicole Brisson, executive chef at Brezza in Resorts World. I called her because I wanted to get the lowdown on the comedy shows she's been hosting at Bar Zazu, which is also in Resorts World, right next door to Brezza. But she was also finally ready to talk about her new off-strip project, Amari, in the Uncommons development on Durango at the 215. I'm here chatting with Nicole Brisson right now, and this is interesting because I texted you, Nicole, Chef Nicole, about your comedy night, and you told me to meet you at your comedy night at Bar Zazu in Resorts World on the Las Vegas Strip, right next door to your fantastic restaurant, Brezza. And that's what we usually talk about. And you said, hey, meet me off strip. So tell people where we are right now and why we're here.
Well, thank you for having me, Al. And it was mainly out of convenience for both of us because I know this is stone's throw away from both of our houses. But we're here at Amari Italian Kitchen, and I have recently taken the helm with my new director of operations, Kyle Johnson, who was previously with Sparrow and Wolf. And we've spent the last 5 weeks just really changing the menu and having fun with food over here.
When's the last time you did anything off strip?
It's been a while. When I closed the Battaglia restaurants, I had opened Eataly for about a little over a year, and then I opened my own independent restaurant called Locale that it was going to hit exactly a year when the shutdown happened. So we got my James Beard nomination, 40 Under 40 Best New Restaurant, and then the world came to an end. So.
Right. Okay, so people have been missing you, and I know that Amari was something that you were originally involved in the conceptualization of, but you never really came in here as a chef. So seeing you return to a space that I know you've had your eye on for a while, are you excited to be in Uncommons and to be in the Southwest Valley after having eyed this area for a bit?
Very excited. The timing just feels so perfect right now. Jim Stewart and I have had a long time relationship, and I was the original chef slated for this property. And I'm honestly glad that the timing fell the way that it did, because it's just kind of a clean canvas to start fresh from. And there's a lot of great things happening at Uncommons right now. We've got the Med Spa coming in. We've got Barry's Boot Camp. Sticks is going to open in October, I believe.
That's the new food court that's coming in?
Correct. Yep. And it's all it's like this weird chef posse here, which has been a lot of fun to have around me. I've got Richard Camarado and Sean McLean over at Wino, who are dear friends. I've got Robert Villanova, who's taking over Sticks, who has been friends with Kyle and I for a long time. I've got Zach Allen, who's like my brother. I'm a godmother to his kids. That is over at Antigua Venayo. So I think not only can we have a lot of fun with the food and the atmosphere and the culture here at Amari, I think that the community should be very excited that we can all collaborate and work together and just create this sense of community that I hope to bring to the Southwest side, which is literally, it takes me 4.5 minutes to get home. I walked to work the other day. First time walking to work ever in Vegas.
Well, I could walk here from my house too, but I'm not. I'm a lazy fuck, so I'm not doing that. Okay, so Amari it was an early adopter, or an early resident of Uncommons, and I believe it was here a little too early, as with the original food hall. Uncommons had a very, very rough launch, but it has managed to survive when some other places haven't. And of course, Wino has come in now since Amari opened. And as you mentioned, Zach is here now with a great place. There's a lot more going on now than when it originally opened. So how do you adjust Amari from what it was, the restaurant that got by the really tough times here at Uncommons, to a restaurant that maybe is going to help just launch it into an even more thriving area?
Well, it's funny because it reminds me a lot of kind of the path of Resorts World. You know, anytime you open a new casino, you're evolving with that new casino. And we're going to hit 5 years at Brezza in June. So the timing seems almost perfect. Amari will hit 3 years. And we flipped the whole menu to make it just fresher, lighter. What I'm noticing of the clientele is it's a lot of very health conscious, a lot of women, a lot of families. So the first thing I did was bring in a giant Carrie Clasby order of beautiful heirloom tomatoes and stone fruit, and really just freshen and lively up the menu for the spring and summer season. So you're going to see a lot of those seasonal changes. But I think that capitalizing on all the corporate offices here, like Lifetime Fitness is here now. We've been doing a lot of work with the A's. There's tons of catering opportunity. I'm going to launch I'm calling it pranzo veloce, which means speed lunch in Italian. And what we'll do is have a choice of super salad, your choice of sandwich, piadina, mortadella sandwich, or a quick pasta to really get you in and out in 15, 20 minutes and back out to the office buildings. So things like that we can have a lot of fun with. We're going to get really creative with our happy hour here because there's a huge drive. I had 50 people alone booked just for happy hour on Mother's Day. So it seems to be a very social gathering spot, and I really want to capitalize on that. Hopefully do some fun industry dinner with all our amazing liquor supporters and reps. And I really think the sky's the limit. The Quad's beautiful. There's live music often. There's the market in the alley.
Your patio is also overlooking the main quad or square, whatever you want to call it here.
Yeah, it's very interactive. It's very fun. It's it's just been nice for me to see all my friends and neighbors come support, and it's, I think I said this to you before we were recording, but it's just really rejuvenated me and made me excited about food and small restaurants again.
First of all, the lunch thing's great. My wife's working out of this Uncommons 3 days a week, so she needs new lunch spots, so she'll be coming over, I have no doubt, to do that. But I want to talk about what direction do you take this menu in? Italian has come to mean a lot of things, and but in the burbs, there's always sort of an attachment to the red sauce, mafia, northeastern, right? And a lot of people in the burbs expect that that's what they're going to get. You have a much more diverse background than that, so I need to know, what style of Italian are you bringing in here?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see some carryover from the Brezza menu for sure. Just some of the Nicole classics like the bolognese, a different version of the caprese. We brought a similar version of our chicken parm, the meatballs, but really just lightening up the food. And Bart Mahoney gave me one of the best compliments ever at Brezza. He said, "You have a very feminine way of cooking." And I think you'll see that in my food, and it speaks to the quality, the ingredients, the freshness. I think I can get pretty geeky with like some regional cuisine. Chef Gio and I talk all the time. He was actually just texting me, and I think he's rejuvenated from freshly back from Italy and doing all these fun wine dinners. And I think it really gives us, as an off-strip community, the ability to be very competitive. I see Mimo Ferraro pushing the barriers and just bringing some of those old school dishes back, like vitello tonato. And, I think now is the time that we were just in Italy together about a year ago. And I think it's an opportunity for all of us to just really get excited about some of those old school dishes that haven't necessarily been on menus for a while.
Okay, you're getting me hungry now. I love it. Also, I need to get your spreadsheet of places to dine in Italy because I'm going in a month. Okay, so this sounds fantastic. Happy hour, very important to my friend Andrew Morgan at Happy Hour Vegas. Do you know what your happy hour is going to be all about here?
We're just kind of chipping away at it. So it's 3 till 6:30. We've left a lot of the classics alone. We are revamping the shrimp scampi a little bit this week, but just it's going to be like minor tweaks till it's fully done. But you know, the great thing about Chef Kyle is he's a very seasoned veteran chef by trade. Now kind of delving into the admin world with me, quite lengthy, but he's a multi-outlet chef, so we're just driving this train very fast and very much to the future.
Cool. Oh man, I lost my train of thought there.
We have to touch on comedy nights.
We do have to touch on comedy nights. I wanted to see if there was one last thing I need to. Oh, I know what it was. The bread here and the pizza made from that bread have always been kind of an integral part of Amari's identity. Is that going to carry over, and will it be bread and pizza programs? How are they going to be affected by this change?
Yes, and it's funny that you said that because we were talking about the OG start of this restaurant, and that the bones were here. You know, the focaccia is great, the pizza's great. We've made some minor tweaks to just the way they pick up the pizza to make it even better and less greasy, but it was there, you know, so we kept that exactly the same, to be honest with you. And we integrated some handmade pastas. You will see the beef cheek ravioli from Brezza, but in a different set of like alla marsala. We brought a pollo e fieno, which means the 2 colors of hay. So you have the spinach tagliatelle and the white tagliatelle with a castle rosso cheese to finish, similar to what Americans think of a carbonara with peas and prosciutto and all those same flavor profiles, but very neighborhoody. But yeah, we're just having fun with food.
Well, it sounds fantastic. Congratulations. I love having you back in my neighborhood. I mean, that just makes me so happy. But let's get down to the Strip, because in addition, one last question. What's going on with your steak program on the Strip, and will there be any of these famous Nicole Brisson steaks available here?
Great question, because we're also revamping the retail area. So we've got this small, beautiful little bodega retail area in the front, and I really want to heavily focus on the wines and the Amaros. We've got over 95 Amaros, and with that and Father's Day coming, we are going to have steaks available to take home and grill. And I'm going to do a little package with my my custom rub and potentially a bottle of wine, and just really, if you're looking for steaks, come to Amari. We'll have steaks at every outlet.
Awesome, great. Okay, now let's get to comedy. Bar Zazu, directly next door to Brezza. Beautiful space, unbelievably cool. The art there, it's changing, it's animated. I feel like I'm in a Disney cruise ship or something when I go into Bar Zazu. It's amazing, but it's never known quite what it is. It's moved from concept to concept, and that's been fun for me as a fan, right? But now you're bringing in a comedy night, which I love because, we all need something to laugh about.
Well, so this stemmed from a number of conversations with industry colleagues, and it started with me reading a New York Times article about the loneliness pandemic and how people are just becoming more isolated, more depressed, and just social media was shutting them off from society, and how we need more gathering spaces, how we need more interactive experiences. And I was talking to Gabe Lopez, who does the Dirty at 12:30 over at South Point. He's a very good friend. He smokes cigars with myself and a lot of my La Polina family. We just launched their new, one of the guys' new company. It's called Live Gray, which is all luxury items and cigar experiences, and we're going to do some collaborative dinners together. So a lot of irons in the fire right now. But Gabe said, well, this room looks like a comedy club. And he said, why don't you do comedy here? And I said, well, what? So I started talking to Drew Strotza at Resorts World, and he's just booked so much talent across the Strip from Jubilee days till now. And he helped me. We built a stage, and we moved the sign, and we got all the platforms set up for ticket sales, and somehow here I am, partially in the comedy business. But it's been a lot of fun. We've had some really, really great headliners already. We had Shang the week before last. We had Jason Collins, who was just hilarious. Todd's there most weeks. I'm trying to get the names out there more consistently so you can see the headliners ahead of time through the resort. The resort's been a huge asset of helping me catapult this whole project. And they're excited to have it. And what it's doing, I think, is just we're advertising in multiple restaurants across the district, and it's 8 till 9:30 p.m. or sorry, 8 till 9 is lubrication hour. Get your food, get your drink, Wednesday through Saturday. And then the last headliner finishes at 10:30 at night. So you can very much go to my restaurants, go to Stubborn Seed, go to Carver, have a great meal, and then end your evening at Resorts World at Bar's Zazu Comedy Nights. And then hopefully just stay and hang out at Resorts World and maybe even get a room and do a little mini staycation over the summer.
Yeah. Win some money at the tables too while you're there, right? Because we all win.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. How has it been? How's the crowd been? And then my final question is there a cover or a minimum or anything like that?
So we go through UR Venue, and we have a cover code, a cover of $50 at the door. You just scan the QR code and you can buy it within minutes. I did the trial run when we first launched it. But for anybody industry, just reach out to me directly. I am doing some invites to fill the room right now, but it averages about 45 to 85 people a night. I'm hoping to be pushing 100. And with the days that it's really lively and just so much fun. And I've been laughing a lot more, which I've been needing with my stress content lately. So
I can only imagine. So just to clarify, that's a $50 cover plus then drinks and food on top of that, correct?
Correct. 2 drink minimum, and we have a really great curated program by Wayne, my wine director, and Derek Crow, my lead mixologist. And the food are all the same small bites that I offer at Cigar Lounge: wings, sliders, pizzas, very conducive to comedy.
And it's an amazing deal. You're not getting a $50 show in Las Vegas many places, so that's fantastic. So congratulations on both of these. Thank you for telling me about all this. I'm really excited to, you tell me when you're ready to have me in and start eating again, because I'm just down the street.
For sure. You and Sue are welcome anytime.
And so, for those of you who may not have been reading Food and Loathing Vegas, last week, Lotus of Siam has reopened their original location. So that's in the Commercial Center on East Sahara, and they wrote about it as soon as
we wrote about it.
I
told you my notes would be bad there.
Look, I'm just thinking about Lotus of Siam. I'm excited about it.
Right.
But look, Al, you also sat down with Penny, and whose family's owned the restaurant since the 1990s, and to discuss that decision and what people can expect.
So I'm sitting here with Penny Chutima in the original Lotus of Siam location a few hours before its reopening. And man, I'm with Penny Chutima. Wow, you guys have done a lot here, and you still have a little bit to do before you open tonight.
Oh, 100%. We have a lot to do. I mean, we're just opening right now just to get the feel, and everyone can test out our kitchens and everything else like that right now.
For those of us who have been in Las Vegas for any length of time, this location, this place is very, very special. But I think that there are some people that have gotten to know you from Flamingo. They're very familiar with who you are. Could you tell people a little bit about the history of Lotus of Siam, how long you've been in Las Vegas? You must have been a child when this all started, or a baby.
I think at the time when we moved here, I was like 11.
Okay.
And so we were probably taking over Lotus at 1999, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it was a very different time around this area. I think a lot of people at the time considered it like a very scary place to be.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about the neighborhood and how it's changed a little bit. But so you took this over. There was a previous owner?
Yes, originally the Lotus of Siam itself was built in like 1955.
Okay.
And my parents took it over in 1999.
And of course, your mother is the James Beard Award-winning chef who brought it to national prominence. And you guys got a lot of attention really early, being in this crazy little strip mall here, and at a time when nobody was dining off strip in Las Vegas. I mean, honestly, if we're going to be serious, back in those days, you came here if you wanted to go to a sex club around the corner or a really divey bar. So what was it like opening a great restaurant, coming in and having a great restaurant with great food that could win awards in a really weird neighborhood?
I mean, my parents always called Lotus of Siam the diamond in the rough, right? And I actually love our neighbors. It's a weird neighborhood, but everyone is like amazing. Like, originally, when I was a lot younger, I used to do deliveries to the Green Door, Hawks Gym. It's one of those things that, I knew a lot of our neighbors because they would order food and I would just go and drop it off. Yeah. And like for my parents, I guess the word is persevered, right? Where it took so long because at the time, every Thai restaurant in Vegas was a Thai Chinese restaurant. Like, it wasn't a straight Thai. You had a lot of chow mein, you had a lot of like an egg drop soup, which, yes, in Thai cuisine we do have it now, but it's like, it wasn't a very prominent Thai dish, and also pad Thai. When my parents came in, no one even knew what khao soi was. You had a lot of Thai people who lived here didn't even know what khao soi was because they're not from that region. And so khao soi now has evolved to being such a national Thai dish that everybody knows what it is now,
In those days, it was a big secret. You go to Lotus of Siam and you ask them to, I mean, I don't know if it ever was a real big secret, but what we all heard, right, when we were young foodies trying to discover this place was you got to ask for the secret Northern Thai menu. But in some way, you guys were generally credited with bringing a lot, not only just bringing a straight Thai restaurant, but bringing Northern Thai dishes that really weren't popular in the United States at all, correct?
Yes, and I would definitely say that it was a lot harder at that time too to kind of like, I don't want to say persuade, but like get people to step outside of their box, and they're like, oh, this isn't Thai food because they've never seen it before. But I grown up with this food. Like, I go back home, I eat the same things, and so bringing out the khao soi, bringing out the pounded jackfruit, which is tam kanun. We also had like the num priks, which is the chili dip, num prik ong num prick head. And it's like, later on, it took, at that time, it's no social media. You realistically just had a chow hound. And people ended up liking that type of flavor profile because it wasn't just Thai food being only sweet. It had flavor. And
Okay, so of course you expanded eventually over to Flamingo Road, and it's a beautiful brand new space in there. This place closed, as I understand it, because your roof collapsed here in this old commercial center. Could you talk about why you had to close this place and then why you stuck with it for so long and finally decided to reopen it?
I mean, Flamingo is amazing, right? We took it over from the old Roy's, and we did really well. I had to open it because during 2017 we had this crazy landlord and crazy rain that ended up damaging the entire building. And so the construction time took a lot longer, and I was already in the process of trying to expand it, and so that was the perfect time to find the actual location. But with Sahara, people are like, why do you hold on to something? It's such a dump. It's like, the area is not a great area, but it's like, if people are parents and they have that, I don't want to say problem child, but a child who has a type of problem, right? Are you just going to leave them? Like, no. This is like the place that my mother, found, I don't want to say found her name, but was able to influence a lot of people, not just the city, but entire nation, of what Thai food really was at that time. And so I don't think us leaving this location would, like for her, it's part of her.
So there's an emotional attachment to it.
100%.
Okay. So will your mother be in the... Does your mother still ever get into the kitchen? I always want to know if a great James Beard Award-winning chef who has made their claim, whether they ever get into the kitchen.
She's always in the kitchen. And all the sauces that you guys taste is literally from her. So it's like, if you see a pad Thai sauce or a stir-fry sauce, that was literally from her hands. And she's actually here now. It's a 70-year-old lady trying to make sure everything's opening on time or things are doing right. Like, even Dad's over there making sure his wine list is on point. And so, but very active.
The place looks beautiful. Again, you're putting the finishing touches on it, but it's very different than I remember it. That wine room, I mean, that's something new, right?
New aesthetics, yes.
Okay.
Originally, it used to only be the same length, which was the white wine room only, but this doesn't even hold the entire collection that we have, which is pretty a lot. We mix both the red and the white. So the right side is the reds and the left side are the whites. And so that's probably like maybe 3,000 bottles.
Wow.
We have from the start to here all the way to the back, which is more wine.
I think, and maybe I'm giving you too much credit, but I don't think I am. I think Lotus of Siam was a place that maybe got so much of its attention, not just because the food was fantastic, but because you have always prided yourself on having a great wine program, an unexpected wine program.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but my dad does not drink. So he just collects. And so with us, it's also helping our guests understand our food. You know, people want to have an experience. And so why not with Thai food and German wines?
While I have you here, before we get back to the final thing about this, everybody thinks you should drink a Riesling with Thai food. I want one other wine recommendation from you.
I mean, you can actually play with a lot. I prefer Riesling, yes, but there has been some amazing Sauvignon Blancs. Sorry. There has been some amazing Sauvignon Blancs, some really great Sylvaners that I would recommend.
Okay. Well, they're coming in right now, and they're getting a little closer to us. So I'm going to wrap this up. Just what's the message for people with Lotus of Siam being back here at Sahara? And also, the neighborhood's gotten a lot nicer, by the way.
Definitely, the county has done an amazing job in trying to preserve Commercial Center, and we really appreciate that. For right now, for the next month or so, we're going to be on a limited menu just so the kitchen can understand the new equipment that they're going to be dealing with, and also, just come on in. We'll also have the bar open and everything.
And you have a different kind of bar, right?
Yeah, so we're actually going to finish it up within the month or so, but it'll be a different menu, and it'll also have different cocktails. So we'll have both.
So will it be kind of a walk-in bar dining, or do you expect that to be sold out months in advance, just like the rest of your restaurants?
No, we'll definitely do the bar for walk-ins, but we're also planning for a late night. So the late night will probably be all the way up until 2 a.m. And we're going to have the small bite menus, a little bit different from the actual main menu. We're also going to have my husband's amazing cocktails that he's planning to do, and obviously our wines.
Yeah. And how is this area for nightlife around here? I mean, is there a big late night crowd these days, since I don't go to Green Door anymore? Let's say.
I mean, for us, I don't know, right? It's been so long, but for us, I feel like because industry, some people will get off at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and if they don't want to be stuck on the traffic on Las Vegas Boulevard getting ready for F1 or something like that, they could just took this little detour.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Up next, a happy hour report and the news. This is Food and Loathing.
Hey, it's Rich Johnson, your faithful Food and Loathing producer. Thanks for listening. And I also want to say thanks for reading. Reading the latest happenings around the Vegas food scene at the website for this podcast, foodandloathing.vegas. That's right, .vegas. That's where Al and Gemini and I summarize some of our favorite podcast interviews and bring you some original stories as well. Also, Bob Barnes serves up his weekly dining and entertainment guide. You'll find rundowns of the Valley's top restaurants, and you can always stream the most recent episode of this podcast. So make sure to bookmark foodandloathing.vegas for dining news. And while you're at it, check our other buddy, Andrew Morgan, at happyhourvegas.com for his recommendations on Las Vegas's top happy hours.
Is it happy hour yet? I mean, come on, it's Las Vegas, so all of your hours should be happy. And we certainly have enough things to keep you happy, including great bars and restaurants with great happy hours, literally at all hours of the day. And, we talked a little bit in that last section. They're going to be doing some cool happy hour things over at Amari, under Nicole Brisson, so that's very cool. But nobody knows the happy hour scene better than Andrew Morgan and happyhourvegas.com. That's why he joins us in this show every week with the happy hour report. So let's get into it. Andrew, any news, new happy hours, cool shit?
Yeah, I mean, you and I went, so first of all, you and I went to Amari for a happy hour not too long ago, and that was fantastic. So
yes,
that was
but
cool.
They'll be mixing it up a bit, Nicole, and also lunch
Exactly.
over there. Lunch is going to be good, man. Nicole gave me a sandwich and a little minestrone soup, and they're so good.
Brezza's fantastic happy hour there. So, so this week you and I also were at KJ's.
We were at KJ, yes.
With the mayor, of course.
Yeah,
she seems to follow us everywhere we go.
She does, man. And actually now she strikes up conversations with me, which I didn't have that kind of relationship with the Goodmans, I would say. I mean, I kind of earned their disdain for a few questions I've asked them over the years. But.
Oh, I wonder how that happened. So KJ's, which took over the Pepper Club at the English Hotel in the Arts District downtown kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you and I went for the grand opening, but also they have a happy hour. In fact, they have 2 happy hours. They have happy hour Monday to Friday, 4 to 6, and then also Friday and Saturday, 9 to midnight. So twice as fun, you know. I really enjoyed myself there at the grand opening, but also on the happy hour menu, a lot of the stuff that was there that we got to try that was on the happy hour menu: shrimp cocktail, oysters, Wagyu beef sliders, fried chicken sliders. So these are all, you know, they're obviously having a lot of fun in the kitchen, and that's translating to the happy hour side of things. And you know, I'm excited about it. So.
Cool. I think I hit the wrong button there. I'm going to just turn everybody down there for a second. Right. Anyway, man, nobody should let me touch buttons on my own machine. Okay, so what are the prices on those things?
So, you know, you're a little higher up than, you know, your standard happy hour, but still reasonable. Like you're talking under $9, under $10 for a lot of these things. And, you know, as an example, you want one of their specialties, happy hour specialties, oysters and a glass of Tanner champagne, $20.
Okay.
That's a good little deal, and it's a good vibe in there. It's all freshened up and nice, and it's, you know, got kind of overlooking the pool and what have you. So,
yeah.
Look, if you're in that location, you're not in that location, it's worth the drive. Pro tip, free parking on the street in back of the English Hotel.
Yeah.
So otherwise, parking downtown Arts District
could be a nightmare. They sometimes have a valet in front of the English Hotel, which can be nice. Yeah, so that's cool. I like the fact that they have an early one, they have a late one. If you're wandering around the Arts District, which is really a great way to see the Arts District, this could be your warm-up, it could be your pre-gaming, or it can be your winding down at the end of the night, right?
Totally. And on a Friday, Saturday, for sure.
Cool. Any other happy hours we need to know about this week?
No, I spoke to you at the top of the conversation about Boom Bang. I'm a fan. They've got a great happy hour. Say hi to Chef Alicia. She will say hi to you back. I promise you, she's good people. And food is fantastic. I mean, the cocktails there, all of the ingredients are fresh pressed, you know, ingredients right there. So you're getting fresh, organic cocktails, fruit cocktails. You're getting grass-fed beef in the smash burgers, you know, all of the above. So.
That's cool. Yeah, and that is a restaurant that has survived in Henderson despite being smarter than the room.
Yeah.
And no offense, Henderson. I know there's a lot of smart people that live out there, but you people do not eat smart out there. You let very few good, smart, challenging, interesting, exciting, out-of-the-box restaurants make it over in Henderson. So, you know, Bang Boom has, and congrats to them.
And before the end of the month, I should say, I'm back in Henderson. I'm excited. I'm going to go see Azura Cucina. Nice. And a few other places on Water Street as well. So.
Cool.
I'll let you guys know.
I cannot wait to hear about it. Okay, news time. We have a pretty fantastic event happening at Goose Plus Social in Chinatown. And this is a sandwich shop. Gu Plus they do Japanese sandos on the milk bread. In fact, when I went to do these interviews you're about to hear, I got there a little early and I had one of their shrimp sandos, and so good with they got eel sauce that you could squirt on it, but it comes with its own seasoned aioli, the milk bread that just absorbs everything, and then the crunch of these shrimp that they put in there. It's just so fucking good. I love it. But they have 2 locations for Gu Plus. This is a Vegas-born concept. It was a ghost kitchen for a while, things like that. They have one in Chinatown. They have one on Sunset Road in the old barbecue Mexicana spot. But the one in Chinatown also has a back room. It's called Gu Plus Social, and this is where they do some real dining. Chef Cabrera actually cooks up, you know, much more complicated food in the back if you want something more than a sando. The sandos, by the way, are good. There's like $100 sando you can get out front for like a A5 Wagyu, so you don't need to go fancy in the back. But if you want to, that's what they have Gu Social for. And then this Sunday, May 17th, multiple James Beard Award nominee Chef Matsuo Endo of Raku will take part in a collaborative event with Chef Dan Izzy Cabrera. And that's at the Chinatown location. It's going to be inside and outside the restaurant. It's even going to stretch to the neighboring, I should say, Monier Bakery. I sat down with Luis DeSantos, who is a partner in the parent company, Elevate Hospitality, also a very, very old friend of mine, and Chef Cabrera, and we decided to learn more about it. Where did the idea with for a collaboration with Raku. Where did that come from?
I mean, to be quite frank, I think it's part of our social concept. Our idea here is to really collaborate with local chefs to promote cross-market our differences in that sense. And not only that, it's part of the community. Chef Endo is a dear friend, admired as probably one of the leading chef in the Japanese scene. He has done well business-wise, and as I don't know if you've heard, he just celebrated 18 years of Endo. Wow. Think about that for a second. Yeah. Restaurateur wants to survive the first 2-3 years. 5 years is good. 10 years amazing. 18 years as of just a couple of days ago.
Wow. That is absolutely amazing. So, Chef, for you, what's involved with a collaboration like this?
For me, I think I get to do collaboration with an amazing chef and to show what kind of food I'm doing. I'm pretty new and doing restaurant collaborations and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that we can show what we can do, especially here at Q Plus, which we focus in meat. So for this collaboration, we're gonna be focused on doing some T-bone steaks, roasted tomahawks, a couple appetizers, and just to show people what we can do, because food is always involving, and we want to make sure that they see what we're doing here.
So how do you and Chef Endo work together to put together a menu?
So with Chef Endo, we decided to see what is Endo doing, like the best thing. Every time I remember the first time I see Endo cooking in a festival, they always carrying the grill, the Bichotan grill, the cart. Yeah. And it's always excited because you don't see that often, doing that traditional, Japanese, yakitori and street food. So this is what we want to bring now. We want to do a collaboration where we can fusion, traditional and like kind of like cooking in the alley, all right? Mm-hmm. And that's what a Chinatown is about.
Cool. So have you worked with Bichotan grills before?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's the concept that we're doing right now with Gil Social. We offer some skewers and a Bichotan grill, so there is it's elevate, the flavor and the different aspect for the skewers. We're doing some type of Wagyu, we're doing pork. Sometimes we going crazy and we're doing beef tongue, which it's not often to see people doing that, but we want to create this environment where people, they're not afraid to try something with that aspect.
So what can people expect from this one pop-up collaboration?
So the exciting part about this is how we do it. It's a little bit of outdoor-indoor scene, because I think we're coming into this beautiful May. We may be lucky for one more month of being not too hot, as you know, in Vegas. Minus the WIND. We don't want to say it out loud. But with this alley here, it's kind of cool. So we decided to do stations. I think Chef Izzy or Daniel Cabrera, my partner here, the amazing part is he's actually going to put together a station of these beautiful meats and assortment. So we want to do an elevated station where Chef Endo decided to bring his Endo yakitori or Bichotan grill cart, and then he also wants to do a little surprise. The problem is we're waiting for him to decide this thing. He just said, I'm going to do 5 skewers, two meats, 2 chicken, and some vegetable. However, I'm going to surprise you from Raku. And I'm like, we got to get menus. But, but the beauty of this thing is that's where the excitement, right? We know that he will deliver. So we can speak on our behalf. We're going to be welcoming you with some of our specialty drink as a welcome, some appetizers to keep you hold. Obviously, the tables are going to be preset with our beautiful milk bread that Chef Izzy have put together. This is what we call bicolor or multicolor breads. Pretty fun concept. You just have to kind of see it, enjoy it, and topping off with beautiful butter that he created. Along the way of these courses, obviously we're going to put something in there. We're talking about some appetizers, so we're finalizing that deal just to keep you on hold. But the whole idea is for you to visit these booths or stations and really enjoy the food that Chef Izzy and Endo are doing that evening. To top it off, we're going to allow you to go into our Monnier. As you know, it's the mochi beignet in Chinatown, world's first and only. We still claim for that.
Right, and I should point out to people who are listening, so we're at Gu Plus, and which has Gu Plus Social in the back, which is a sit-down, beautiful restaurant that we're sitting in. But then 2 doors down, right at this Chinatown location, you guys operate Monnier, which is a truly original Japanese bakery that has, the mochi beignets and things like that. So I just want to bring people up to date. So you're going to bring Monnier in on this event.
Actually, it will be here, but because of the alley, how it's situated, we're just going to be at the outdoor seating. We will encourage our guests, if they want to not go, that's fine. We'll bring some dessert. It's upon request. However, we want them encouraged to see out there. So we're going to create some stations of our fresh Monnier being fried, because, the powdered green tea sugar. Chef Yuka is excited to add some couple things. Maybe some mango mochi, because it is one of the most sought after product happening right now during the summer. And some other ideas that Chef Izzy and Yuka have put together. So imagine a haven of desserts just to complement. The beauty of these sit-downs is you can start with dessert and then get some yakitori or anything and then do things. So you could do however you want. It's very casual, highlighting it a little bit with our DJ Chisa, which is a Japanese DJ friends of ours, to just kind of put in some vibe outdoor. And then we're going to have some live performance here in the back. It's more of a subtle vocalist that we will have as well. So it's just the whole thing is experience.
Wow, so DJ in the front, vocalist in the back, and a little bit of sweets off to the side, man. You've got everything covered. And 2 fantastic chefs from 2 fantastic Chinatown restaurants. As I understand it, this is $180 a ticket. Are they being sold in advance, or do you just go make a reservation?
It is through Open Table. There is a seating arrangement that will give you a choice of outdoor, indoor. It is limited. We're not a big spot, so there are some rooms out there. So I encourage to book it now, just to secure if you want the outdoor seating or indoor. At the end of the day, we love doing this, and hopefully you can join. Join the festivity that we'd like to provide with these 2 great talents, 3 great talents actually.
Cool. Well, thank you guys both for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm coming to this one, so I'm excited about it.
Yes, we look forward to, and then obviously feedback is always good, right? So we can do better next time.
Cool. Thank you, Chef.
Well, thank you. And definitely it's not gonna be the first one and our last one. We're gonna keep doing more of this and inviting chefs that they want to take, the challenge to show you talent.
Congratulations to Eiffel Tower, Esther's Kitchen, and Ocean Prime, all 3 of which made it onto Open Table's list of the top 100 brunch spots in America. Only one of those is on the Neon Feast list, but all 3 of those restaurants are on Neon Feast. They're just not all on my brunch list, so I may have to re-examine that.
Recalibrate that one. By the way, that Open Table list of top 100 brunch spots in America. So Open Table has 60,000 restaurants, around the world. When you distill that down to what's happening in North America, in the U.S., and in this town and brunch, that's pretty impressive to have 3 like that in the top 100.
Yeah, I have no idea what their criteria is and what the people who vote on it know or anything, but they're having fun at those 3 places. And by the way, they are all great places. I have had a brunch at Ocean Prime. I've actually done it on the patio. This is a great time of year to do it, but great. And, Andrew and I, you hear us talking about Ocean Prime all the time. We love the place.
Yeah.
I have had brunch at Esther's Kitchen. It is always fantastic. Eiffel Tower actually has been a really good brunch deal for a while. I did not go this weekend because it was Mother's Day. I heard they set a record. So they're all great restaurants. And for once, I'm not looking at Open Table saying who the fuck, who the fuck do you get these from?
Well, Open Tables, they're a software company, right? So they're using data. How
Yeah.
many reservations, how many covers, all that stuff. They're not like you and I who are local experts.
Yeah, it would be great if they would say hire some local experts to
Right?
help them out. That goes out to all of you tech entrepreneurs.
Meanwhile, the
Some
tech sector's
content.
having a hell of a time laying off everyone, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but
That's okay. I'm cheaper than the people that they pay in the tech sector.
you are cheap.
I'm way cheap. Local chef and cookbook author Alicia Shevetone has collaborated with 80s pop star Tiffany on a new cookbook called Pop Life. And the pair threw a little party this week at La Petite Bohème to celebrate its official release. I stopped by and spoke to both of them, starting with a friend of this show, Alicia Shevetone. I'm going to start with Alicia because we've had her on the show many times before. Alicia, how's it feel to have this book out?
It is phenomenal. I mean, to be able to work with Tiffany at this level, to see her dedication, just to be able to see it come to fruition, dream come true.
Tiffany, cooking is more than just sort of a fad that you picked up for this book. It's something that I know you did a lot during COVID, and you've done a lot to keep in touch with your fans. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's becoming my second career, so I'm hoping to work on like a food and travel show, so that's up and coming. And it's been something in my blood since I did some stuff with Food Network. I did some hosting there, did Guy Fieri and Rachel Ray. I did a contest there. So, it was just, I was inspired by it. And it's been something, again, that I've been doing with the fans on and off, sharing recipes, just having fun with them. And now it's in my blood. So I'm going to keep going. Definitely. I'm going to keep singing, of course. But if I can blend food and music together, I think that's a perfect pairing, definitely.
I got to tell you, I spent half my life writing about musicians and half my life writing about chefs. So I love that combination. Personally, how did this collaboration come to be?
Well, we were introduced through a mutual friend, John Harris, our friend John Harris. Both knew that we were doing food stuff. Of course, knew Tiffany from the food industry. Knew my husband as one of his roadies back in the day for a band that my husband Mark was in. Then introduced us and, became fast friends after that. Within a period of, I think, of about 2 or 3 months, we had our first event at the Space, a food and performance event that we did. And that's when we announced this cookbook, and here we are 3 years later.
Cool. What was it like making a book, Tiffany, compared to making an album?
Well, you know what? Because this was so involved with other people, like my brother-in-law took the photos, my sister helped plate, of course, working with my mentor here, Chef Alicia. It wasn't just my own project, so I enjoyed it kind of more. I mean, obviously when I write songs or co-produce with other musicians, being in the studio and stuff, you're in it together. But this was, I think, again, being my heart and a second passion for me. It's like actually watching it come together. Everything we did, every time we plated something, every time we went a step further, it was like, oh, we were doing it. And I could feel it really bubbling inside. So I kind of felt like a newbie, that new, fresh thing inside of me, my dreams happening like I was when I was doing music at 15, 16. I felt sometimes a little out of my element, but when you have dreams, you just go for them and you're learning.
Chef Mark Marone is planning to open a Las Vegas butcher deli kitchen. I actually spoke to the former Tao Group corporate chef and the creator of the much lamented Graffiti Bao and Gemma Pizza. I spoke to him at Vegas on Strip this year, and he explained to me that he now owns a ranch. I don't know how that happens, but good for you, Mark.
Okay. Corporate chef gone rancher.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's planning to offer the meat from that ranch at this new local spot. Earlier this week, he posted an artist's rendition of Diamond Spur Provisions and Meat, which he says is patterned after the Italian delis and markets he grew up with in the Bronx. Hopefully, we'll have more info soon. Mark and I spoke. Well, I'll have you on the podcast. We'll talk about it. Didn't connect. I think he's in the RJ right now. So bravo to Jonathan or whoever got that interview for following up. By the way, they used a photo that I shot with Mark when I was with the RJ up on the roof of the old post office building downtown.
Can we talk about that for a second?
What?
So I feel like the RJ and Eater are copying us. I'm not putting it out there. I'm not following like that, but there's something going on there. So you heard it here first, folks.
We live in a small town. I read their stories. I tell you what they're writing about. I have no problem. It's kind of funny. when you're very young in this industry, and publicists, I know a lot of publicists listen, they'll get this if they've made it this far. When I'm young in this business and I need to compete with the really important, really big people, then yes, I am going to scoop people. I'm going to get stories out there first. It's a tradition in journalism that goes back to when papers only printed once a day if you didn't make that deadline. But I come from radio, and you wanted to get it on the air first. I don't think that matters for shit anymore, right? I think we all bounce the same ideas around in our head. Jonathan Wright and I go to the same parties. We eat at the same restaurants. Yeah. So do the Eater people that work at Eater. I've had work for me. They've hired me to work for them. We're a small town is what I'm saying.
Oh, look, you know? And actually, I don't care. Actually, I'm okay with it because it's, to me, at the end of the day, the most important thing is getting the word about it, the restaurant, the chefs, and the local business. So the more people talking about it, the better.
And I'll tell you this, if anybody is copying anybody, all right, and a copy is such a harsh word to say, right? If we are taking inspiration from each other, which I freely admit that I do, good, because I once worked at a publication in this town where my boss shot down every single original fucking idea I brought to her until Eater wrote about it a month later, and then I was supposed to write about it. So you know what? We can spur each other on to to writing stories, and it's all good.
At the end of the day, AI and all the algorithms are copying us anyways.
Yeah, they're all stealing from us, man.
So.
That's okay. Once that big New York Times, Washington Post lawsuit goes through, I'm going to sue my friends over at Chat or wherever that use my shit, man.
Yep.
Oh, where are we? We were in news. Burger World. Couple things in Burger World this weekend. This week, NADC Burgers, which is the smash burger collaboration between professional skateboarder Neen Williams and Michelin-starred chef Phil Franklin Lee, is now open downtown. I'm going to be heading down and chatting with them shortly, but we're going to save that for next week's show. They did a pop-up of NADC at Resorts World. I think it was last summer. It did really well. Yeah. Now they're downtown.
Yeah, totally. And, for good reason. It's obvious you're going to have Michelin-starred chef and then, Neen Williams, who is all over the gram, like he's a popular skateboard guy. So I get it. I'm a fan. I'm a skater. So what do you want to do?
There you go. I don't know. I don't follow the skateboard scene, but it was a good burger when I had it. Also, Redhead Burger coming to the Grand Canal Shops at the Venetian. No more info on that, but it's coming. And that is about it for this week, man. Andrew, anything else you wanted to yell? You want to holla, as the kids of 20 years ago might have said?
So I want to talk about the Golden Knights quickly.
Okay.
And, the boys, the team is awesome. Love them. So happy where we're at right now with these guys. I'm pissed about, not being able to see it on TV. And on the, I have the app, the nighttime app. You got to watch it on ESPN. That's not
What
fair.
about TNT?
Still have to. I mean, if you're not a cable subscriber.
Oh, if you're not a cable subscriber, right? Yeah, you got to get those stations from somewhere.
Yeah. So
you got to pay for content, man. I've always paid for content. Nobody pays me for my content. All you AI robots that are ripping me
Well, it
off.
forces you to go to a bar and watch the game, which is not half bad either, right?
A happy hour, right?
Exactly. And by the way, a lot of this, I was talking to our friend Jason over at Hard Rock Cafe. For locals, especially game day, they have all these promos, all these deals going, 20% off on any game day at Hard Rock, and that's pretty solid there. So
yeah, okay,
good. That's all I got.
We got to. By the time you hear this, I hope we beat the shit out of Anaheim. Okay, remember, you can always find more news and events at foodandloathing.vegas. That includes Bob Barnes' weekly dining and entertainment report. This week, Bob has info on the Front Yard, With Love Always, Chef Tyler Vorse, Butcher and Thief, Glitter Gulch Tiki, 8 Cigar Lounge, and Rosina Cocktail Lounge. He also takes a deep dive into his pick of the week, Pizza Rock at Green Valley Ranch, a place that doesn't get nearly as much attention as the downtown spot, but it's very, very cool. Beautiful restaurant, great food. You can see me and Andrew from time to time over on the CW and News 3 Las Vegas. If you want more, go watch our videos online from when we did it in the past. You can also read our work at LasVegasAdvisor.com. And, of course, Andrew has all the happy hour info at happyhourvegas.com.
Yeah.
So with that, man, I'm Al Mancini with Andrew Morgan. On behalf of Gemini Stevens and Rich Johnson, I want to thank all of our guests, Nicole Brisson, Luis DeSantos, Chef Izzy Cabrera, Penny Chutima, Tiffany, Alicia Shevetone. Thank you all for being on the show. Thank you all for listening. And please remember, you got to eat well, you got to drink well, you got to tip well, but to enjoy it all, you got to always stay hungry.